Hey everybody, my name is John Franklin, and you tuned into Just Believe I Am, You Are the Creator. Today we'll be talking about logic and emotions and why emotions always rules logic. It's kind of hard to believe, but we're going to get into that to kind of give you guys some information as to why that's so. And so we're going to just jump right into this, and we're going to go kind of fast with this because I got another video I want to do right after this. I want to just expound on this a little bit to let you guys know that logic, we all have it and we all use it. But sometimes emotions, majority of all the time, the emotions overrule the logic part of the things that we often do. So anyway, it says logic will never win, emotions will win, always win. So, and why is that? So here it is. It says your mind's job is to do what it thinks you want. So your mind's job is to keep you safe at all costs. So, and sometimes it go into like the fight or flight syndromes. So if your mind thinks that you're in a situation that is precarious or dangerous, it overrules what logic would say. Its job is to keep you safe all times. So it says that it will overrule logic to keep you emotionally and physically safe. Example, logic will say, get up early to beat work traffic. But emotions will say, why? Work starts at 7 a.m., hit the snooze button. Now, hitting the snooze button is dangerous all in itself. But also, I have another video also that talks about snoozing interrupt your sleep cycle and why that could be dangerous to your health and making decisions throughout the day. So, but here we go. Logic will tell you to invest more time on a work project, but emotions will tell you that sweeping the floor is more important. So again, the job of your mind is to harmonize and balance the two, logic and emotion. Sadly, emotions will usually win out. And here's why: because of unconscious programming. And a lot of times conscious too, but you just don't know it. So with unconscious programming, 24/7, 365 days in a year, we are consciously and unconsciously sending messages to our hearts through our thoughts and emotions. Every touch, word, feeling, hearing, smelling, seeing, etc. sends a signal to the subconscious mind, which in turns find a matched signal, or which for us would be life experience, something that we had already.
Heart-based experiences, from things like frustration, anger, hate, jealousy, and rage, to things like compassion, care for anything, gratitude for anything, appreciation for anything. When we can do that very, very quickly, this signal from the heart to the brain shifts, and you're seeing that becomes a very rhythmic, very even, very coherent signal. This is what it's called. And it sends a different signal to our brain, and our brain begins to release a different chemistry.
Fight response. So, again, if you change your thoughts, again, will change your life. And we talked about that in many of my videos about changing your thoughts. It will definitely change your life. But in this part right here where we're talking about logic and emotions, changing your thoughts can help that as well. And here's how. So by changing the words of discouragements to word of encouragement, love, health, confidence, you change your thought process. and that knowledge will change your life. So just changing death words into life words will actually change the molecular structure within your body. Got it right that time, gang. Within your body to create health, healing, mentally and physically. We find that in one of my videos that will sticks and stones will break your bone, but words will never hurt you. Well, we found that words do hurt you, and sometimes subconsciously or consciously we don't show it, but then subconsciously it's building resistance or like the fight or flight syndrome is building up something to like, hold on, that was like a negative thing you just told me, and your mind is saying something like, why would a person even tell me something like that? And that person who told you that went on about their own business, forgot even they even said it to you, but they went on about your business and left you holding what they gave you, and which was negative. And you can either hold that negativity within yourself and continue on with life and becoming something like, dang, why would that person say that I'm ugly? Let's use that. And I dress myself up. I try to look good. I try to do my best with my hygiene, and yet this person tell me that I'm ugly, and so you holding that thought. So now it's building up resentment against the person who told you that. When the person who told you that will probably say, I said it out of anger. I said it because I was drunk, or I said it because of whatever reason they may give you. But nonetheless, they said it, and they left you holding that what they said. So you don't want to be caught in that situation to where you constantly holding negativity within you all the time. You have to release it. And sometimes, so when people say something negative to you, negative or derogatory to you, you want to take that what they say and change it to positive, because it's about you and how you live your life and what you want to get out of your life to make you a better person, not what the people's out there telling you what they think of you. So you want to try to change the way you think about yourself. And then the other thing is that you don't want to do something like get into a negative vibe to where now you resentful and now you holding hatred against a person that's only eating you up. It's not eating that person up, it's eating you up alive, and trying to figure out a way to get back at this person, trying to figure out a way to say something to hurt that person. And so you just constantly putting negative in you. So in order to change your life, a lot of times you got to change your surroundings. You got to change who the people you're with, people you're hanging around. Because if you say you want to quit smoking and you're around people who are smoking, chances are you quitting smoking are limited, pretty null and void, because it's fun. You find like this. People say something like, why does that person always do this? Why does that person always do that? And that person smokes.
Every moment of every day, as I mentioned, there's this conversation. It's a conversation between the heart and the brain. The heart is speaking to the brain, and the quality of the conversation that comes from the heart and the brain tells the brain what chemistry to release.
So let's do this. If you on a 50-story, well, within a 50-story building, and you know that the higher the building goes, even from the ground up, that the building is safe, right? The glass is about this thick, and you can't get through it or fall through it or nothing. But the higher you go, the farther away you get away from that window, because you think you're gonna fall. That's your emotions. Logic telling you that the building is safe. Oh, it's safe. But the higher you go, emotion kicks in. And emotions say, well, hey, what if? So you have to take the logic to make it overrule the emotion part of it by saying, I got to get over this fear because I know it's safe. I know it's safe. I know it's safe. I know it's safe. And once you change the emotion that comes with the fear and use logic, you'll get over anything. You'll surpass some of the things that you think that you could never do. You'll find yourself doing it. And the reason why we're on this topic of emotions and logic is to share the fact that why your mind is reacting the way it does when it comes to the flight or fight situation. Because again, your mind is job is to give you what it thinks you want. So if you're on the that floor and you feeling like it's not safe, your mind is finding unsafe scenarios to make you happy, to give you what you want. So it's saying, okay, if you get close to that window, it's gonna fall. Okay, I'm fine with that, so I'm gonna get back. So your mind did what it thought you want, gave you a scenario of danger. So your mind is giving you what you want. So you want to change that and trick your mind, and not even so much trick your mind, but you really want to use logic to know that that was not the case. Because if that was the case, there wouldn't be any high-rise buildings all around the world, and they're getting higher and higher. Now the safety factor is maybe scarier, but that's the emotion part playing the tricks. But the logic of it is that it is safe, right? So we got to use more logic than emotions. And so when the emotions get to kicking in to tell you one thing, stop it and throw logic there. Because a lot of people won't fly planes because of emotions. They won't even fly in a plane because they say it's going to fall out the sky. Oh yeah, it may fall out the sky, somehow. But the logic part of it, the emotional part of it overrules the logic. And if everybody used emotion, there would be anybody flying planes. Because people use logic. What are the chances of it happening to you? But you might say, oh, yeah, if there was a chance, it would happen to me. And I'd be the only person on that plane that even thought that this would happen. But you see what I'm saying? So here we go again. Refining words. Your mind is giving you what it thinks you.
Powerful immune response, powerful anti-aging hormones, awakens your senses, turns on the gamma. Okay, and when you are in the rough, jagged signal, that's fight or flight, your body and your brain are saying, something important is happening. We've got to run or fight, so we don't have time for healing. We don't have time for an immune response. We don't have time for anti-aging hormones. They're not important. So it shuts off those functions in preferential treatment of this.
Emotions create the fight or flight. So the fight or flight syndrome is your heart and your mind connected. They're trying to figure out what it is that you need to do with yourself right now to keep you safe. Should you fight or should you run in these situations? Well, we run a lot of times when we shouldn't. We should stay there and we should fight, right? Fight through that was causing you to feel the way that you feel. Fight through that, not physically fight, but fight through that emotion that's causing you to feel the way that you feel. So you want to change that I'm terrified to I'm delighted. So once you change, soon as you change the way that you think, all that other fear stuff goes away automatically. It doesn't stay around. Soon as you change the way you think, everything else got to change too. Because that's what you do. You constantly changing things throughout life. Try it. When you find yourself in a situation where you feel that you so a lot of times and my wife tells me a lot of times because I find myself saying something, she said, nope, we're not going to say that, and I have to really think like, yeah, she's right, we can't say that, and I constantly revert back to what I know I should be saying. But we all are human, because I'm telling you, because as soon as you start fighting this and try to get to there, this is going to try to win out, because you have, how old are you? Okay, so you're that age, and you have done all of this unconsciously programming from the time of birth until the age that you are now. So your mind is going to continue to give. If you've been programmed with this unconsciously from the time you were birthed up until now, your mind is going to give you what it thinks you want. And it thinks if you want this because this is what you've been programming all your life. This is what you've been programming. So your mind is going to give you what it thinks you want. Even when you try to change it to this, it's going to feel good when you change it, but your mind going to try to revert back to this because this is what you've been doing. So can you do this overnight? Change it from this to this? No, because you didn't get this programming overnight. It's going to have to be a conscious effort to do this consciously. And because unconsciously, you're going to be doing this. So consciously, you're going to have to start saying these until it develops within you. It takes like something like 72 hours to that effect, like 3 days to kind of like change these one things at a time. Change that, change that, change that. 72 hours, 72 hours, 72 hours. Because if you try to change this, it all gets boggled up to where it kind of get hard to do. And so when you're trying to do this kind of seeps back in because you're doing a lot. So let's try to work on this part. How do you feel now? What do you want to change? Let's change that. So for the next 72 hours, call it this, spectacular. I am spectacular. I am worthy. I am more than enough. I am a child of God. You see? You're changing, and you're changing the structure that you've been giving yourself 365 days in a year. You've been giving yourself this. Now you're changing that. And sometimes, even after doing this 72 hours, you're building up that connection, that heart and mind connection. You're building that up to where it's getting there. It's building a connection. And it might slip back, but that's okay because you build enough of it to remind yourself, oh yeah, that's right, bam. So you go back and then you continue on. So the more you continue on, the less you have to consciously do it. It'll start becoming unconscious. That you'll start doing things, you'll wake up without hitting the snooze button and get on up. So everybody, remember, just believe. I am. You are the creator. And the I am is you. I am. You are who you are. Nobody made you the way you are but you. Other videos, I have videos all around talking about different topics. My next video again would be right here. Snoring interrupts your sleep cycle.